Did you know King Mohammed VI of Morocco is one of the richest monarchs in the world, with a fortune of over $6 billion? Yet, many people in Morocco live in poverty, and he has even been dubbed the King of the Poor. His life has been full of surprises, from being a rebellious young prince to becoming a powerful leader. He's known for his fancy lifestyle, big reforms, and decisions that have sparked debates. While some admire him, others criticize the growing gap between the rich and poor under his rule. Behind the royal crown is a story of wealth, power, and controversy. So, how did Mohammed VI go from a troubled prince to one of the most influential leaders in Africa? Let's find out his full story. This is Lux Diaries. Before we continue, make sure you subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon for more videos like this. Mohammed VI of Morocco was born on the 21st of August, 1963. He was born as the second child, but the first son to Hassan II and Lala Latifa, to become the rightful king of Morocco from birth. His father was grooming him for his future position as a leader. Hence, as young as Mohammed was, he was being taught about religion and leadership. At just 4 years old, he began attending a Quranic school at the royal palace, starting his day at 6 a.m. with Quran recitation before continuing with formal lessons. He finished his primary and secondary education at the Royal Palace College. Later, he studied law at Mohammed V University in Rabat, earning a bachelor's degree in 1985 and a master's in public law in 1988. Mohammed also spent time at the European Commission in Brussels in the late 1980s and earned a doctorate in law from the University of Nice in France in 1993. His thesis focused on the Arab-Maghreb Union's relationship with the European Economic Community. He was fluent in Arabic and French and had a deep interest in literature and art. However, according to a biography by Ferran Sales-Aga, his early behavior created tension with his father, King Hassan II. Reports from spies suggested that the young prince was visiting bars regularly, which deeply disappointed the king. In frustration, Hassan II reportedly referred to his son's actions as a chromosome error. To curb his behavior, that's when Mohammed was sent to Nice, France, to study law. Morocco's interior minister closely monitored his activities there, acting on his father's orders. Despite the scrutiny, Mohammed excelled academically, earning his PhD in law with distinction on October 29, 1993. On July 12, 1994, he was promoted to the military rank of Major General and became President of the High Council of Culture and Commander-in-Chief of the Royal Moroccan Army. As he grew older, Mohammed took on more responsibilities. He worked on projects to help the poor and became involved in military matters, coordinating Morocco's armed forces starting in 1985. During the 1990s, when King Hassan II's health declined, Mohammed often represented him at political events and meetings both in Morocco and abroad. Before becoming king, Mohammed gained a reputation as a playboy. The New York Times described him as someone who loved fast cars and nightclubs, spending much of his time at places like Amnesia in Rabat. According to Le Roi Prédateur, his school friend Fouad Ali El-Hima made these visits easier by installing a private elevator in his apartment above the club that went straight to its premises. Over time, his relationship with his father grew strained. He avoided encounters with King Hassan II, even when visiting Morocco, fueling rumors of a growing distance between them. On July 23, 1999, after the passing of his father, he became king. At 36 years old, he joined other young Arab leaders, like King Abdullah II of Jordan and Sheikh Hamad of Bahrain, who also became rulers after their fathers' deaths. So, after taking on the throne, he delivered a televised speech where he pledged to tackle poverty and corruption, create jobs, and improve Morocco's human rights record. His reformist ideas faced resistance from Islamist conservatives, and some of his policies upset fundamentalist groups. Early on, he also took steps to remove his father's strict interior minister, Driss Basri, and appointed several of his former classmates to important roles in the state administration. When it comes to his love life, there were rumors that he had secretly married the same night, following a Moroccan tradition that a king must marry before taking the throne. However, palace officials denied this. His engagement to Salma Banani was officially announced on October 12, 2001. The two had met at a party in 1999, and the king surprised many by publicly naming his fiancée. Traditionally, Moroccan royal wives had stayed out of the public eye, but Salma's name and identity were openly shared. They had a private wedding on March 21, 2002, in Rabat. Later, in July of the same year, their marriage was celebrated at Dar al-Maksan, the royal palace in Rabat. Salma was given the title, Her Royal Highness Princess Lala Salma, making her the first Moroccan king's wife to receive a royal title. The honorific Lala is traditionally given to high-ranking women in Moroccan society. The couple had two children, Crown Prince Moulay Hassan, born on May 8, 2003, and Princess Lala Khadija, born on February 28, 2007. Then, on March 21, 2018, the couple's divorce was confirmed. The announcement came on what would have been their 16th wedding anniversary. The news followed a challenging period for Mohammed VI, who had heart surgery in Paris earlier that year due to a cardiac arrhythmia. A photo released after the surgery showed the king in his hospital bed, surrounded by his brother, Prince Moulay Rachid, his sisters, Princesses Lala Mariam, Lala Asma, and Lala Hasna, and his two children. However, Princess Lala Salma was notably absent. Reports suggested the couple had been apart since a trip to Cuba and Miami in April 2017. He had not taken part in any royal engagement since December 2017 and was also absent from her work with the Lala Salma Foundation, which focuses on cancer prevention. Since the divorce, she has occasionally attended events privately and was last seen at one in 2021. Unlike other monarchs, Mohammed VI did not remarry after his divorce. But since becoming king in 1999 after the death of his father, Mohammed has built a massive fortune. His wealth is mainly managed through Almada, a holding company that invests in industries like renewable energy, telecommunications, retail, mining, and banking in Morocco and across Africa. With an estimated net worth of over $6 billion, he is one of the richest people in Africa. In 2015, Forbes ranked him as Africa's richest king and the fifth wealthiest monarch globally. Although he has introduced some political and economic reforms, critics often point out the sharp contrast between his wealth and the poverty many Moroccans face. Known as the king of the poor, he is still one of the wealthiest monarchs in the world. However, income inequality remains a big issue in Morocco, with gaps widening between rich and poor and between urban and rural areas. So he keeps a low profile, rarely appearing at public events or giving interviews. Besides owning extensive real estate and land, the king reportedly has accounts in foreign banks. This is illegal for most Moroccans, but a media investigation revealed that he held an account at the HSBC Geneva branch. And as with many rulers across Africa following the end of colonial rule, the Moroccan monarchy has also made its money through questionable ways. King Mohammed VI of Morocco is definitely one of those royals who prefer to stay behind the spotlight, but even so, he cannot hide the fact that he enjoys a lavish life. From custom-made and designer clothes to costly wristwatches and spending for long periods in exclusive Paris neighborhoods, one cannot help but wonder at the lifestyle of this man against the backdrop of Morocco's population. His palace alone costs $960,000 a day to operate, as reported by Forbes in 2014, with much of the money spent on staff, clothing, and maintaining his car collection. The Moroccan state funds this as part of a 2.576 billion dirham annual budget. Unlike his father, who was often active on the political stage, Mohammed VI prefers a quieter approach. He stays in the background, controlling power without drawing much attention. This low-profile leadership style has raised concerns and controversies, especially during crises. For example, when a 6.8 magnitude earthquake struck Morocco on a Friday in September 2023, killing over 2,900 people, the king was in Paris, where he often spends his time. It took him almost a full day to return and address the disaster. On Saturday, he He chaired a cabinet meeting shown on television, but without sound. By Tuesday, he visited a hospital and donated blood, but his minimal visibility and silence drew criticism. Many said the government's slow response was because officials waited for the king's approval before acting. And it's not just that. On August 2nd, 2013, protests erupted in Rabat after the king pardoned 48 jailed Spaniards. Among them was Daniel Galvan, a convicted pedophile serving a 30-year sentence for raping 11 children aged 4 to 15. The public outrage was swift, forcing the king to revoke Galvan's pardon. Morocco issued an international arrest warrant, and Galvan was later arrested in Spain, where he continued his sentence. The pardons included other controversial figures, such as Antonio Garcia, a repeat drug trafficker caught with 9 tons of hashish in Tangier. He had resisted arrest with a firearm and was sentenced to 10 years. Released before facing trial, his pardon reportedly embarrassed Spain, with some media outlets criticizing the decision. Beyond this, leaked diplomatic cables and media investigations have exposed conflicts of interest tied to the king's business dealings. In 2010, WikiLeaks cables accused Mohammed VI of soliciting bribes from businesses and real estate developers. The leaks suggested that the royal family used state institutions to pressure businesses into paying bribes, a practice often seen in other African nations. So, there you have it, the life of Mohammed VI of Morocco. But what do you think about this enigmatic ruler? Does his reign symbolize progress for Morocco, or does it highlight the deep inequalities within the nation? Comment down below, and thanks for watching.